Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to take a look at a very special sound. This is actually a sound that I didn't fully make myself. This was sent in by a viewer of mine and he came up with an interesting idea for a way to create Didgeridoo sounds.
Didgeridoo.
This sound actually came from a viewer of mine. He created a cool and interesting way to create Didgeridoo sounds. So that's what we'll be taking a look at today. Hey guys, I quickly wanted to say that my second masterclass is out now on my Gumroad. It's about 24 hours of edited footage of me making the track that you're listening to right now. So go check it out if you're interested. Now obviously I got full permission to share this patch and share this technique from him with you guys. Otherwise I wouldn't be making this. If you enjoyed these kind of videos where I go over a particular sound that maybe someone in the community submitted or created, then let me know and I can try to do more of them. But let's just start by getting into the patch. So this whole technique relies on this wavetable modulating in creative ways with the filter that is in here. So you can see we have a very high resonant filter which is being randomly modulated, both the filter cutoff as well as the Q, making sure that the Q isn't always at 100%. And then just because of the way that the wavetable sound and this filter Q sound and the steepness of this filter sounds, especially the resonance, we get very close to the actual sound. So this is the patch. This is what it sounds like. And you can hear the kind of different tones that we're getting, which is commonly associated with the way that the instrument is played, the instrument that we're trying to create here. So this whole technique relies on this wavetable. So I just want to quickly look at what this wavetable is. This wavetable, as I've loaded it up here, is just this sound. You can hear that there's a bit of modulation over time, but you can also hear the kind of texture that we're after here. On its own, it doesn't really sound fairly close, but it does have kind of the low frequency and the low harmonic structure of the sound that we're looking for. It just misses that top texture that you want where the modulation is kind of coming in. So this is a sound from the Microfreak. The preset is called bass. It's a type of oscillator preset, I believe. I don't own a Microfreak, so I don't exactly know how it's made. There have been speculations on how else you could get this sound. There's a way probably within VCV Rack. One of the VCV Rack modules has also a bass oscillator that should deliver a fairly similar sound, if not just the same waveform. And for anybody who uses a Microfreak, he actually explained how he made the entire patch that he made in Microfreak, which was the inspiration for me making this patch. And if you want to see that, I'll leave a link to that particular thread in the description down below, so that you can look through it and look at how it was created on the Microfreak. The way that I'm going to do that, for those who are interested, is I'm going to go into my forums and I'm going to make a new forum post for that. Maybe I'll do this more often if I have other interesting things, interesting extra resources or stuff like that I want to link towards a video. That way you can just look at the corresponding post of the video and you'll see all of the information there. I'll also ask Psy, the original creator of the sound and of the wavetable here, if I can just share this wavetable with my community. That way you can immediately get the wavetable. So once you have the wavetable, what you'll see is that we're using one random modulation for the wavetable position. We're using one random modulation for the filter cutoff, and then one random modulation to turn down the Q over time. So this Q is normally at the maximum value and it just gets pushed down every once in a while. We have some delay and some reverb, and in between I decided to just tone down this one harmonic which was really harsh and in your face. So you can hear that just makes the frequency response a little bit better. It gives it a little bit of a nicer spectrum overall. And it should be just a little bit less resonant, and that allows you to also put it into the mix a little bit easier. So that's just what this EQ is doing. So as you can see, overall not a very big patch. There's not a lot of technique happening, but there's this cool thing happening in the sense that we're basically constructing the sound from a wavetable that we already know. And then we just add the movement that we want on top of it after in with the Q and the filter cutoff of this filter here. So what I think we can take away from this sound design session here and this sound design experiment is that you can sometimes think in sounds in just multiple layers, but those layers don't always have to come from an oscillator. I think when most people look at the sound and they hear that there's two distinct layers, they look for layering two different oscillators. But in this case, you can clearly hear that what we're trying to do is we're basically generating this basic tone on top. We're basically generating this basic low frequency kind of bass tone, which we have this wavetable for. And then all we need to do is add in that mid-range modulation that we kind of hear in the sound. And a filter resonance is another great way of doing that because it's just going to create one peak at the frequency that you specify. So I hope this was an interesting video. You can let me know by leaving a like if you found this interesting. That way I can see which videos you guys enjoy the most. If you have any questions or you just want to say something to me, then you can leave a comment down below. And if you're new here and you want to see more of my channel, then make sure that you're subscribed. You can also turn on bell notifications to get notified by YouTube whenever I post something. But that's going to be it for today. I hope you enjoyed and hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.